Hey everyone, how's it going? So, I bet you there's a couple of you wondering if I'm gonna make a video on this topic, and yes, I did. So, my rule on events that happen, contemporary events obviously, are that I want a few days to research both sides. I want to see what objections one side has, what objections the other side has, because I really want to get a filtered version of the story out. Obviously, I'm going to have my point of view, sort of a little spin on it, based on what I believe, based on my ideology, and here we go. So, there was a lot of research I did into this, and I found out, I'll start with the White Nationalist side. So, the White Nationalist side had a couple big organizers. I don't really know the guy's name, but his name is like Kessel something on the White Nationalist side. But basically what happened was, he actually planned this rally way back even around May, maybe even before May of this year. And he applied to get a permit to do this. And basically the city turned him down right away. And if you want some context into that, you just have to look at the mayor and the vice mayor. The mayor is a Jew, so right there. And people are going to listen to this. Like, there was some Jew commenting on my other thing saying I'm an anti-Semite. When I point out that there's a Jew in there, I'm showing you, if you will listen for 5 seconds, and I'm using logic here, I'm showing you that he has an interest in this. He's not an unbiased person. If you're a Jew, you have an ideology. You have certain interests. Just like if you're a Christian, you have an ideology and you have certain interests based on your beliefs. So therefore, you're probably going to act a certain way or held a certain belief system because of this. So, obviously, do you think a Jew's going to have a white nationalist rally or allow it to happen? No, of course not. And then, the vice mayor, turns out, is a radical, racist black man who literally hates all whites and is a militant Black Panther, or an ex-Black Panther. So you have those two people in there. No wonder why their permits got denied. And then they had the White Nationalist side, and I'm not even sticking up for the White Nationalists because they hate me just as much as the other side does. So, even though I'm completely with them, I wouldn't say I'm completely with them, but obviously they have some revisionist views when it comes to certain events in history that I align with. But most of them are really ignorant in the way that they express it. So, I don't even want to digress into any of that. It's just too much right now. I just want to get to this event. And so what happened was, they even had to have the ACLU represent them in court. That Kesselring, I believe his name is, or whatever, Kessel something. He basically got the ACLU to support them in court, and they actually won, and they got their permit. But what happened was, once they actually arrived at the event, they were being told that their permit is not legal and that they will be arrested if they hold their rally. That's what I heard. That's what I'm hearing from their side. And let me go to the other side. So the other side heard about this months ago, and they knew about it. So, because they knew beforehand, they obviously staged protests against this. Which, to be honest, I don't even think the average Antifa or Black Lives Matter person can even articulate clearly what white nationalists believe, because most people are so ignorant, they just listen to the mainstream media. I actually represent the white nationalists to a T, and maybe that's why they hate me so much, because I actually do accurately represent them, and I just show them why I don't believe in what they believe in. And obviously, if anybody knows anything, you know that the Antifa is run by radical Jews, such as George Soros, who literally are just there to cause riots and to smash things and to just be complete fools. In essence, have the cops seize upon this some way, the authorities seize upon this, maybe the mayor, somebody. I believe that they wanted it to be bad enough, the people who organized the Antifa, that they wanted to even maybe declare a civil emergency in the area. I don't know. That point right there is just conjecture. I'm just speculating. But that's happened before in past events, so why wouldn't it happen now? My problem is, obviously my main problem is with the Antifa side, because they can go around and they can smash all these random things and they can protest all they want. And you don't see anybody going after them, beating them up, and trying to remove them from the event or throwing stuff at them. We just let them do their little thing. We let them be little radicals, right? Even though obviously I don't agree with that. I feel like there should be a crackdown no matter what. But why can't the other side stage an event, a protest? Why not? Obviously I don't think that they should be violent and be going around beating up Antifa people, which I don't even know if they did, to be honest, because as far as Antifa goes, they don't have a good record. So, more than likely, I'm going to believe the people that hate me on the other side more than the people that hate me on the Antifa side. So, what it comes down to is, I'm not going to say for sure, right here is another me speculating. I really believe that the alt-right, or whatever they want to call themselves, white nationalists, that showed up, I believe it was like, the actual rally was called Unite the Right, which is funny because they're not even conservatives. I've gone on so many tangents about this. They are National Socialists. They are National Socialists. And there's nothing wrong with being National Socialist, except for the fact that they're socialists, and they're nationalists. What I'm saying is that when people think of National Socialism, they automatically think of Germany, 1940s Germany. I'm not saying that all National Socialists think like that, act like that. I don't think the National Socialists want to go out and take over part of California and make that their Lebensraum or something like that. You know, it's completely different circumstances. But I'm against socialism and I'm against nationalism, so therefore I'm against them. But anyways, as soon as this Kesselring, or whatever his name is, showed up to the event, and this is my opinion, and he was told that, hey, we're not going to allow you guys to do this, you should just get out of here. You know what he should have said? He should have said, okay, fine. Because guess what? He could have withdrawn everyone from there and then made a huge spectacle in the news about how they couldn't go out and protest. They could have easily played the victim card here. Because then what would happen? The mainstream media would have been forced to not cover it. They would have had a total blackout. Or what they would have done was they would have tried to misrepresent it and say that, oh, because Antifa was there and Black Lives Matter, that they scared off all the white supremacists. That's what they could have said. Like I said, I'm just speculating here. I don't know. But he should have done that. That brings me to a different conclusion as far as what their motives were. Because as soon as this Kesselring knew that there was going to be hundreds of Black Lives Matter and Antifa people there that were violent, and he knows they're violent. David Duke knows they're violent. All of them knows that they're violent. As soon as they knew that they were going to be there, for the safety of their groups, for the safety of their people, they should have withdrawn. As I like to say, concede the battle, but don't lose the war. Something that Hitler did not understand. And it cost him a lot, especially in 1942. If you study history, 1942 was really bad for Germany because Hitler didn't want to concede any territory. And because the territory that they had acquired in 1941 was so vast that they couldn't protect it. They didn't have enough troops. So, I don't understand this. I don't get this. Why would you want your people to be attacked and to look like the aggressors when you know that the mainstream media is on the other side? So maybe there's some double agents here. I don't know. Sorry about that. My supervisor came in the room. So I just want to sort of summarize at the end what I believe should have happened. First off, anybody has the right to protest or hold a rally. It's fine with me. But as soon as you know that the place you're going to hold the protest or rally is going to have violent opposition there, you don't subject your group to that. You just don't. You play the victim as much as you can. That was the whole problem with National Socialist Germany. They were never the victims as far as the international media, the international Jewish media was concerned. They were always the villain. And they didn't care to change that opinion. They just cared about what the Europeans thought. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. And obviously the people on the other side, the Jewish mayor who's a scumbag, and so is the scumbag vice mayor who's literally a black supremacist. And they know what they were doing. They know exactly what they were doing. And then you have reports, speculation, obviously, of stand-downs. So at the end of the day, this should have been called off, and they should have played the victim. But then again, what do you expect? I really genuinely feel like there were double agents in there, whether it's a Kesselring guy or David Duke. I'm feeling like more and more every day that passes that David Duke is a double agent. There are people in here who can't really believe that somebody would come out and speak the truth about who controls us while still being an agent. Well, please, people, read 1984 for once. Did Emmanuel Goldstein not enumerate exactly what the enemy thought? And did he not exactly enumerate why it was wrong and who was doing it? That's what controlled opposition is. So I really just want to end it here because I want this to stop. Because if there's any sort of civil emergency anywhere, guess what? We're all done. Any of us who criticize the Jewish oligarchs, we're done. We're all censored. So at the end of the day, I really want to condemn the white nationalists for going there because you're going to ruin everything. You're going to ruin everything, all the progress we've made. I'm not saying I'm a white nationalist, but in the sense that the awakening of the Jewish problem is going to be set back months because of this. Months, and it could have even been worse. So at the end of the day, I have more contempt for the white nationalists because they're going to ruin it. They're going to ruin everything. And because I don't want just white people to support me. I want everyone to support me. So that's it as far as my tangent on the Charlottesville situation goes. To be honest, my sources are all over the place. I even listened to Alex Jones, and I haven't listened to Alex Jones in months, besides the video I made about him. But I didn't even listen to him, to be honest. I just saw the clip on YouTube, and I just made a video about it. So it's been a while. And same with David Duke. It's been over a month since I've listened to any of his shows. So it's from all different sides. I even watched MSNBC, the CNN guy who was obsessed with calling the white nationalists white supremacists. You know, on and on and on. So if you want to check my sources, go ahead. If you guys want to comment, add anything, go right ahead. Either way, I condemn both sides. I condemn both their ideologies. They're both scumbags. They're both trying to incite violence, and it's pathetic. You're disgusting, and I want this to stop.